Hi, language arts parents and guardians. This is Mr. Dickinson coming to you with a review and preview of this week. Today is October 16th, so this is the week of October 12th through the 16th. I'm going to go over a few things that have happened this week and a few things that are coming up for next week. So let's jump in. The primary thing that we have been focusing on this week has been our literary nonfiction unit. We've gotten a really good start to it. We're about 10 days into the unit now since we finished our memoir unit. Sorry I haven't got you a video in the last couple weeks, but hopefully you've had a chance to track with what's been happening on Classroom and in PowerSchool. Hopefully your students have also come home and had some interesting feedback and thoughts about what they've been reading so far. This is one of my favorite units. This is the genre that I read most often, and so I have lots of different examples that I can show them. I'm currently reading a book along with them called Endurance. It's by a guy named Alfred Lansing, and it's about an expedition to the Antarctic in 1915. It's a pretty interesting story, and so I've been able to share what I'm reading, and they've been able to share what they're reading. I've had dozens of different options of books for them. We started off reading in pairs or groups of three, but now that they've kind of progressed through the unit, they're likely not reading the same book as a partner, but that's still an option that they have. So feel free to check in with them. They should be bringing that book home each night. They should have finished their first one by now, maybe even getting close to finishing a second book by now. They have options of picking shorter books, but they can be reading longer ones as well. I just want them to get through multiple texts in this unit. That part's important so that we can make connections across texts. They can see lots of different examples of what this genre entails, the kinds of text features that are included, so that they can transfer that to future reading, since this is becoming an even more popular genre. This week, they completed a checkpoint that was a formative assessment in PowerSchool that was pretty basic, and it assessed them on their understanding of theme, central idea, and social issue. Those are three primary things that they should be able to identify in their texts right now. I gave them a formative assessment here. I reviewed it. I let them do a retake, and then the Bend 1 assessment on Wednesday was basically just the same thing again. I still had some students struggling with that concept. And I've posted a couple of videos to walk them through that. A little bit confused maybe as to why they're still confused with it, but it's something we're continuing to process through, and we'll revisit it as the unit goes on. So that could be a part of your discussion that you have with your student is, what is a theme in your book? What is a central idea of your book? And what are some social issues that are being dealt with? Those are good conversations. So they should be reading and taking notes as they go right now. You should be able to have them open up their notebooks and show you multiple pages of notes. Their note-taking should reflect their thinking, and so I'm hoping that their notebooks are elaborate, full of different sections, hopefully including sticky notes, highlights, things like that, because I don't know about you, my brain does not operate from top of the bottom of the page very often. It usually is a little bit more scattered than that, and so I hope their notes reflect their thinking. Also, Lexia has been happening this week. They had maybe 45 minutes to work on it in class over the course of this week. I still have probably only about 6 or 7 students per class hitting their Lexia goals, and so I'm hoping to see an increase there. That's something that they can show you each week as well. And so that's being added to their homework grade. Every 10 homework assignments, I add a formative assignment to the grade book, and so you can see how many of those 10 that they completed. We're at like 6 or 7 at the end of this week. And so next week, I expect to have a homework grade posted to PowerSchool. All right. So our preview for next week, we are digging into our second bend of literary nonfiction, which we started yesterday. In this second bend, we focus a lot more on note-taking. We focus a lot more on seeing the connections across texts and within the text. We focus more on the vocabulary that they're spotting in their books. There are a lot of things that we're throwing at them right now. So this Bend 2 is going to be good because they have more exposure and experience with these texts. I'm hoping that they're finishing their second one soon, and I'm going to be doing some formal notebook checks. I sent home an orange sheet today that has some additional information about what I'm specifically looking for on those notebook checks. The first one will happen on Wednesday. Some other things to mention briefly. Thank you to those who attended conferences. Hopefully that was a good experience, even though they were shortened due to the nature of them being digital via Zoom. But I appreciated the chance to just meet some of you and talk with you, even in that brief format. If you have any questions, I have recorded some other digital versions of that conference. If you want that information, just let me know and I can record a quick one and send it out to you. Otherwise, I'd also be glad to set up a time to meet with you as well. Headphones. I am having a big problem right now with students not having headphones. I would appreciate, if possible, you providing access for your students to have headphones. If they have them, remind them to bring them every day in class. Even a cheap pair, I think that they're usually less than $5 at a place like Walmart. And so they need them for class almost on a daily basis. There's hardly a day that goes by when they don't watch a video of some sort. And during work time, some of them like to listen to music. And so I want them to have that opportunity. And then a couple other expectation reminders that I've been doing a lot of reminding of in class lately. Masks being pulled up above their nose. I do record that, and those eventually build into major referrals to the office. Also, packing up early is something I talk with them pretty regularly about. We usually get done a minute or two early, and they have a full 4 minutes to just walk to their next class since they're not stopping at their lockers. So I really shouldn't see anybody packing up early, because that last few minutes is where I'm giving some pretty critical review information and preview information like this about what they need to be doing that night for homework. I think that's a big missing link as to why some students have lower grades right now, because they're not taking advantage of that time at the end of class. All right, if you have any other questions or concerns, please let me know. Otherwise, thanks for watching.